I think since I hit my 30s and whenever trolling strikes, the first word that comes is auntie. Auntie, Buddhi. I started feeling like maybe I'd much rather go for a Grammy, which is my dream, than win a Bigg Boss trophy. First of all, I don't want to be mean, but people who sit every day and watch people fight over potatoes should not teach me morality.
I agree.
Really, you need to get a life.
Yeah.
You know, and I will say this, you can hate me for it. First of all, what my husband and I feel about any situation is a private conversation. Let's just say he's far more evolved than most human beings on this earth. And I think he had a better understanding of what was happening to me and what the world was doing to me than I did. So that was the beginning of my career. And then suddenly when Viva kind of broke up, I'm like 21 and I'm looking for a house. And from living in a penthouse, which they had given us overlooking the sea, I was like looking for small 1 BHKs because obviously we didn't make a lot of money at that time. Most importantly, my heart really goes out to Shahnaz. As I've told you, for me, love is very important. Friendship is very important. And the one thing that struck a chord with people is how much you really loved him.
Hi everyone and welcome to Pinkvilla. If there are 3 words to describe our guest today, then it is fiery, frank and fearless. She's seen it all, from Viva to Diva. Please welcome Neha Bhasin. Hi.
Thank you, Avinash. That's a really nice introduction, I must say.
It is, na?
It is.
And I'm so happy to finally meet you. Firstly, without a glass wall.
Exactly.
And secondly, you know, I always say that I've been a part of Neha Bhasin's Bigg Boss journey, beginning, middle and end. I interviewed you all through the season of Bigg Boss OTT and Bigg Boss 15 as well. And I actually want to start with that question first. Before entering Bigg Boss 15, we spoke and you told me that I'm getting into the house because I want to win the show. I felt my Bigg Boss OTT journey was incomplete.
Correct.
When you got evicted, was that the major disappointment?
No. So, I did get in with a new enthusiasm and I think I also lived that enthusiasm. I was far more opinionated, stronger, very solo in my thinking. In BB15. Having said that, somewhere down the line, I used to ask myself this question every day inside. I'm very introspective as a person. Meditation is a very inherent part of my life.
Yes.
Journaling is, reading is. I listen to motivational talks every morning.
Yeah.
So obviously not having that in the Bigg Boss house always kind of confuses me a little bit. But I used to ask myself this question that why am I here?
Yeah.
And that's a very pertinent question I ask myself in life as well. Mera kya purpose hai? Why am I in this world? And at some point in the house, seeing कि क्या हो रहा है वहाँ पे, हाँ? I started feeling like maybe I'd much rather go for a Grammy, which is my dream, than win a Bigg Boss trophy. I'm not saying ये clear था, but एक subconscious में ये मतलब एक सवाल बार-बार उठता था कि really do you want this? Like, you know, though I was enjoying my time inside, I'm not denying that, and I was doing everything possible to be a good contestant. But जो fire कुछ लोगों में है उस trophy के अंदर, आई थिंक वो मेरे में डेफिनेटली नहीं है। मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि अखाड़े में जो कुश्ती लड़ता है ना, मैं वो वॉरियर हूँ। सामने से कुश्ती लड़ाओगे तो आई थिंक आई कैन रियली हैंड्स डाउन विन इट। आई कैन विन अ स्क्वॉश मैच, अ क्रिकेट मैच। आई डोंट थिंक आई एम बॉर्न टू प्ले माइंड गेम्स। आई डोंट थिंक आई एम बॉर्न फॉर सर्वाइवल। आई थिंक आई एम जस्ट डिफरेंट दैट वे, लाइक इन द सेंस मैंने अपने करियर में नहीं किया 20 ईयर्स में, 19 ईयर्स की उम्र से मैं अकेले रह रही हूँ। एंड आई कहते हैं ना हर मैदान फतेह किया मैंने, कॉन्कर करे अपने सारे फियर्स, अपनी सारी करियर की जो व्हाटएवर आई वांटेड आई अचीव्ड इट. सो द अचीविंग इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम, बट आई हैव टू हैव माय हार्ट इन इट.
Sure.
And I think that as much as Bigg Boss has been a wondrous journey, an adventurous one, I think the trophy belongs to somebody else.
Sure, but you know, cinema/TV is a reflection of our society, and especially in the 15th season, we saw a lot of things which you raised your voice against, specifically age shaming and body shaming that happen inside the house. And if it happened inside the house, that means it's something that's happening everywhere. Did you face it during your tenure, and do you face it outside the world? Have you faced it in the past?
So I think since I hit my 30s, and whenever trolling strikes, the first word that comes is auntie. Auntie, buddhi, budai, whatever the words, those lovely words. I feel कि जब हम किसी को auntie बोलते थे, हम जब छोटे थे, अभी भी बोलते हैं, तो हम it's a word that comes out of love and respect.
Absolutely.
It's not a word that defines a budi ghodi lal lagam wali feeling, which is what people. So our question is, bigger question is that why are you not calling the guys uncle? The guys who are right about Shamita's and my age, whether it's Karan, whether it's Nishant, whether it's Jay Bhanushali, any of these guys, you know, they're all in their 30s, towards the end.
Correct.
or even Bapad for that matter. Like, why don't you call them uncle when you want to shame them? Why only us? Why are you so afraid of our sexuality and how gorgeous we are? Why are you so afraid of the fact that men rule all over us and we don't mind it? Like, I don't get it. Like, ये problem क्या है इस बात से? मुझे तो समझ नहीं आता, but you're right, this is definitely a reflection of our society which wants that women should never ever feel sexy or embrace their bodies or be okay with just being a woman. Like, it's a problem. Of course, it's a very big problem.
And people like to see it on screen, but when it comes off screen or showing your real personality, people suddenly get a problem.
No, they like to see a younger women do it, ना. But then उसमें भी नाम होते हैं बहुत सारे, मतलब objective, उसमें objectification होता है. मेरा तो हमेशा एक ही सवाल रहता है कि अपनी बॉडी से तुमको प्रॉब्लम क्या है? विमेन को भी विमेन की बॉडी से प्रॉब्लम है, मैन को भी विमेन की बॉडी से प्रॉब्लम है. इट्स अ ब्यूटीफुल शेल दैट गॉड इज गिवन यू. इट्स लाइक जब फूल खिलता है तो फूल को प्रॉब्लम थोड़ी नहीं होती कि मैं क्यों खिल रहा हूँ.
बिल्कुल
राइट. वो he doesn't feel ashamed. A rose doesn't feel ashamed to blossom and spread its fragrance and attract people.
Yeah,
that's what women do. What's the big deal about it? If you can't keep it in your pants, it's your problem, right? It's not my problem.
Correct.
So this whole mindset needs to stop.
Yeah.
But having said that, I don't think it's going to stop.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think we are still far away.
I think women should just start annoying people even further by being sexier.
But not annoying. I think just be themselves, right? I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying like women. See, good girls are not shamed. Let's just be like the society deems the good girls, you know, whatever are the criteria for that.
According to their definition.
हाँ, I'm saying according to of course there is no such thing as good and bad girl. I'm saying but जो भी वो उस criteria में fit करते हैं उनके बारे में थोड़ा ना बोलते हैं वो ये बात है.
Correct.
जो women उस सारे shackles को तोड़ के बाहर जाती हैं, उनके लिए ये सब नाम होते हैं. Of course. Otherwise जो औरत अभी एक अच्छी माँ बहन बेटी बन के बैठी है उसको थोड़ा ना ऐसे ये सब बोलेंगे.
Sure.
Yeah, this is their way of shaming you.
True. And you mentioned trolling, which has come a lot your way, especially after your Bigg Boss journey. And you've spoken in the past about it, that it is something that's upsetting. I want to know from a pragmatic point of view, what's the way to stop it? Is there a legal route that a celebrity can take to make sure that this doesn't happen with them? Because it's sad.
So I have taken a legal route in the past against, a large fandom, and there are a lot of loopholes in the cyber laws in our country. I've read up a lot about it. I spent time on it. A lot of people who we had caught were all juveniles, so there's not much you can do about it because a lot of them are under 18 who are trolling you. So I think first our cyber laws need to be put in place.
Yeah,
that's number one. And number two, I think we need to create a space where we talk about it. सो सब क्या बोलते हैं, अरे इग्नोर इट, आप सेलिब्रिटी हो, आपको क्या करना है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हर किसी का ट्रूथ अलग होता है. मैं सेलिब्रिटी हूँ कि नहीं हूँ, मैं हूँ.
बिल्कुल. एंड
देयर आर थिंग्स आई एम ओके विद एंड देयर आर थिंग्स आई एम नॉट ओके विद एंड दैट डजंट मेक इट राइट और रॉन्ग. इट्स जस्ट माई थिंग. मैं नहीं बोल रही कि जो मैं सोच रही हूँ वही सही है. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जो ट्रोलिंग एंड साइबर बुलिंग है ना, नंबर वन, इट रियली अफेक्ट्स योर मेंटल हेल्थ.
इट डज.
या, इट अफेक्ट्स एवरीबडी. लाइक वी आर लाइंग व्हेन वी से इट्स नॉट अफेक्टिंग अस.
एब्सोल्युटली.
Secondly, it's a kind of bullying. Like in the sense, if I come on your page and I take 100 people and I start bullying you, I'm creating an unsafe space for your followers to talk.
Yeah.
And then because people also troll the people who are commenting. मतलब जैसे आपकी family या आपके followers या आपके fraternity के लोग. तो मैं जाने से पहले अंदर एक ही बात बोली थी, my fans followed that this time. से चुप मत बैठना. Don't keep quiet. शरीफ लोगों को ना बोलना ज़रूरी है. शराफत में लोग मारे जा रहे हैं आज की डेट में. सो द ओनली वे टू फाइट अगेंस्ट इट इज यू हैव टू टॉक अबाउट इट, यू हैव टू फाइट बैक एंड यू हैव टू क्रिएट अ सेफ स्पेस ऑन योर पेज, whichever that is, whether it's private or public, that people feel afraid to bully you. Because when I went in this time, people were afraid to talk on my page.
Sure.
The trolling had come down to like, I'd say 5%.
You saw that difference?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm telling you, I'm a warrior that way. Like I'd go down against the world if I believe in something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
More power.
Absolutely.
We should be doing more of this. And also I have to ask you this, since we're talking about trolling also doesn't limit to the celebrity. It goes to the family.
Yeah.
Which happened in your case with your husband, and your mother was majorly affected by this. And I remember a lot was also spoken about you and Pratik, which, where your husband angle was also involved. And a lot of people are discussing that on social media, which I didn't think was required. When you discussed that with your husband, how did that come out?
I'll answer your questions in segments. Number one, I understand that when we open ourselves up on a public platform like a Bigg Boss, everybody's opinion is going to be a part of our lives. But do you have to opinionate on my page?
No.
This is your conversation, right? You can do it in your bedroom with your family, or you can do it on your page, or you can do it on some public platform where I'm not involved. I don't need to be tagged for it.
Correct.
I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem. I think people feel कि ओपिनियन से प्रॉब्लम, मुझे ओपिनियन से प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मुझे ढूंढ के, मेरी फैमिली को ढूंढ के आप थ्रेटन कर रहे हो, आप गालियाँ दे रहे हो, आप बदतमीजी कर रहे हो, मुझे मेरी हैसियत दिखा रहे हो, वट एवर दैट मीन्स, that is not okay with me. I think my problem was that कि if my mother is commenting, you're abusing her, you're abusing my husband, you're abusing my sister, my brother, my friends, that's not done. And तुम ऐसे लोग मुझे morality सिखा रहे हैं. Seriously, first of all, I don't want to be mean, but people who sit every day and watch people fight over potatoes should not teach me morality.
I agree.
Really, you need to get a life.
Yeah.
And I will say this, you can hate me for it, but I will call a spade every time I get a chance to. If you're really that self-aware as a person, then your choice of platform should be something else. You should be actually watching something else. Or maybe following a channel which teaches spirituality or some संस्था और संस्कार.
Yeah.
तुम ऐसा शो देख रहे हो जिसमें you're okay with people playing mind games, तुम उसको mastermind बोलते हो, जो फ्रेंड्स के पीछे जाके backstab करता है और आगे जाके शो जीतता है. But कुछ लोग जो सिर्फ अपनी vulnerability, see, it's a show where you end up making friends, you end up feeling hurt, some people end up liking people. We are confined in a space. It's not a normal scenario. It's not something I've ever done, and I don't think it's something anybody inside has ever done.
Yeah.
And year after year, you have seen people have mental breakdowns. You've seen people go through a lot of, I'd say, highly simulated situations which you don't see otherwise, right?
Correct.
So it's like a cricket match. आप बाहर बैठ के, अरे यार इसने बॉल ठीक से नहीं मारी है, अरे अंदर जाके जियो एक हफ्ता फिर बात करो.
Correct.
Having said that, great. The audience is so invested, hence the show is such a big hit.
Correct.
Just keep your opinion to yourself and don't come on my page on it. That's all I say. Your own pot.
Correct.
So that's the only thing that I'm requesting the world to do.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the media was far more graceful, but there were a lot of dirty vlogs.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like a lot of these YouTube vlogs that people, they pick up a picture and then make their own narrative. It's a picture. There is a moving video and a picture. It's a huge difference. If I come really close to you and I'm saying something in your ear, it'll look like I'm kissing you. Things like this have like kind of,
I know that. I've seen it.
Gone viral and
Correct.
Gone shit. I mean, so yeah. Regarding my husband. See, first of all, what my husband and I feel about any situation is a private conversation. Let's just say he's far more evolved than most human beings on this earth. And I think he had a better understanding of what was happening to me and what the world was doing to me than I did.
Yeah.
So let's just say he was my biggest supporter when I came out, and and was very, very helpful in me coming out of whatever happened after.
Yeah. And he's also one of the nicest guys I've spoken to, I must tell you.
You have spoken to him?
I've spoken to him when you were in the house.
Yeah, he's also far more intelligent than most human beings.
Yeah, sure. I have seen, what I know most of you is from Bigg Boss. So I can use adjectives like strong, opinionated, inspiring, for sure.
Thank you.
But what is Neha Bhasin really like? What are you like at home?
I think I'm pretty much the same. Definitely Bigg Boss OTT showed the more me at home, and Bigg Boss 15 was the me adult in the world.
Sure.
So you've seen both the sides. I'm a softie. I'm a softie when I'm with my friends. I'm a softie like when I'm with my family, and I do need a lot of hugs. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm a very physically affectionate person, and I think even in BB15 I had started doing it. I realized people were hugging me a lot more. Like I think Rajiv kind of played that part for me, like of that nani dadi wale big hugs he used to give me. So I feed on love. Let me be very honest with you. That कितना भी झगड़ा ये वो fears जितना भी आप बोल लो, लेकिन मेरे लिए बड़े important है रिश्ते, मेरे लिए प्यार बहुत important है, मेरे लिए family बहुत important है. And I learned that at a very young age in life, because I was literally thrown out of my house overnight. Like so when Viva happened, for most people who don't know, I started my career with a pop group. It was a reality show, the first one, and we were told that you're selected and day after tomorrow is your flight. So I literally had to pack my whole life in a day, and so this is the beginning of my adult life, right? And I'm like 18 going on 19 sort of a thing. I realized within 2 years of my career at that point, which is superstardom, that I need love in my life, like I need family. So though I lived by myself for many years, I made up my mind, I think when I was about 25, 26, कि अभी कितना भी success आए ना आए, मैं अपने लोगों को साथ में लेके चलूँगी आगे. Like I cannot, I'm not somebody who wants to be alone. I'm not somebody who likes to be alone. So that also, I think you must have seen in Bigg Boss. Like
Yeah.
for me, I need to first feel at home and then I can conquer. I can't be like, I'm not one of those lone warriors. Like, I'm a very solo thinking person. वो मैं मना नहीं कर रही. My decisions are never influenced by other people.
Yeah.
Nobody, not even my parents. I will make up my own mind and you cannot change my mind once I've made up my mind. But I'm talking about as an environment person, I need love and care. Like for me, that's very important. And I think you saw that.
Just to give everyone a background, what Neha just mentioned. So Neha was a part of this very popular pop singer group called Viva. All the 90s kid would know this, and all the 5 singers were selected from a reality show, and they went huge in the amount of time that you all were working. But you also mentioned at the same time something about the house. You had to leave your house?
Yeah. So, I mean, I lived in Delhi and we were under a contract where we had to live. That was a mini Bigg Boss, by the way. We had to live together, right? The 5 of us lived together. And we weren't allowed to meet people. We had timelines and we had bodyguards and like, so proper, like a very tight life. Like I didn't even know the ways in Bombay that time. So, superstars, but very sheltered, you know, sort of a thing. So that was the beginning of my career. And then suddenly when Viva kind of broke up, I'm like 21 and I'm looking for a house. And from living in a penthouse, which they had given us overlooking the sea, I was like looking for small 1 BHKs because obviously we didn't make a lot of money at that time. And, you know, so I'm saying that what I appreciate the most about myself is that even after all that I have seen, I don't think I'm still hard.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think as an artist, as a person, I'm still not hard.
You've not become bitter with the experience.
No, not at all. I think that and that's because I trust. Not easily, but I trust and I love easily. And I don't think I'm ever going to stop.
I saw you live recently where you also mentioned that now I want to concentrate again on my singing career. Get back to singing. What's happening on that front?
So some music was left midway and I'm picking up my pieces again, trying to come out of the rabbit hole of Bigg Boss. So definitely few singles are lined up and some tours are lined up for next year if Corona doesn't hit us again. But most importantly, I'm releasing my folk single in December. And then there are a few songs that I wrote. One I wrote with somebody it's called Parwa. And actually it is about वही जो मैं बोलती हूँ कि अगर मैं सबकी परवाह करती रही तो मैं हमेशा सुनती रह जाऊंगी लोगों की. So it's a very female anthem kind of a song and a few songs coming up now.
कुछ बिग बॉस के लिए बनाएंगी आप क्योंकि आप सॉन्ग्स लिखती भी हैं.
एक्चुअली प्रतीक और मैं गाना लिख रहे थे बिग बॉस OTT के लास्ट डे पे इविक्शन पे और वो अभी मेरे पास इतना सा ही पड़ा है तो देखते हैं maybe at some point. Yeah.
Siddharth Shukla was a very important part of Bigg Boss.
Yeah.
And we lost him recently. He was he passed away when you guys were inside the house, and it's his birth anniversary in a few days.
Oh, okay.
Have you met him before? What are your memories of him?
So Bigg Boss OTT, I think first weekend ka var, him and Shahnaz had come in, and that's the first time I ever saw him in person. And my first thought was, what a handsome, man, very magnanimous personality. Of course, wishing him a very, very happy birthday. I think he made an impact on people. Most importantly, my heart really goes out to Shahnaz. As I've told you, for me, love is very important. Friendship is very important. And the one thing that struck a chord with people is how much she really loved him.
Yeah.
How innocently she loved him, you know, and loves him, still loves him. They had a very sweet bond, and I can see the pain in her eyes every time I see her picture. She's so young, and I really, really, really hope that. I lost my dad when I was, I think, 3 years ago, and I am still not over it. I don't think you get over things like this. Death is a tragedy, and it's not something you get over very easily. So I really, my heart really goes out to Shahnaz, and I pray that she finds strength in her to somehow move on from this hurt.
I agree, and I hope wherever Sid is, he's in a better place today.
I'm sure he is. Like something about him. Like I always say that when young souls are taken away because they're just better. Like they have a better place maybe somewhere than this mad world. So may God rest his soul.
Absolutely, and thank you, Neha, for this lovely conversation. As usual, I loved it. I enjoyed it. And I hope we get to do more of this in the future.
Yes, thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, if you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe to Pink Villa.